The new ProMax 14 and 16 are the base tier of Dell's new ProMax laptop workstations for 2025, replacing the previous Dell Precision range and brand, which has been around since 1997. These new models replace the 14-inch Dell Precision 3490 and the 15-inch Precision 3591 from 2024. And as you may have guessed from the new names, we now have a 14 and 16-inch option for 2025, including a shift to a taller 16:10 aspect ratio display rather than the 16:9 in the previous generation, a significant increase in workspace. And while these sit at the base of Dell's new ProMax mobile workstation range, over the years each new generation received ever more powerful CPUs and graphics, making these supposedly entry-level mobile workstations a strong choice for many CAD users. This new range takes it to another level. We first saw a confidential preview of what Dell were planning around 2 years ago, such is the amount of R&D that goes into these designs, and to be honest, at the time, we wondered if Dell would proceed, as they looked almost too good to be true. However, that was before we'd seen all of the other systems in the range, and let's just say we aren't worried on that score. The whole range has been taken up a notch. The new magnetite colorway looks amazing and is well matched between all of the materials, with 90% recycled magnesium alloy used in the chassis and a high quality mix of plastics and composite materials elsewhere. The system seems solid with a little flex. These new systems also do well in their eco-credentials. In addition to the recycled magnesium in the chassis, there's up to 50% recycled plastics, and even the cobalt in the battery is 50% recycled, with all of the packaging being recycled or renewable materials. Once you open up one of the laptops, the most striking change is that the hinge has been moved down, reducing the footprint and leaving a large gap between the chassis and screen, which wasn't that obvious from the press pictures, but I suppose that's why you're watching this video. The big driver behind these changes are performance and comfort. This large vent helps ensure that hot air can be exhausted from the laptop and keep both the components and chassis as cool as possible in use, plus a handy scoop at the front of the chassis to make opening the screen a little easier. And don't worry if you work with the screen closed and connected to external monitors, as this design also ensures that the fan exhausts are left clear. So how about the specs? Both laptops we have here today support Intel's latest Core Ultra 200H series CPUs, bringing both performance and efficiency gains, alongside support for up to 64GB of RAM and NVIDIA's latest RTX PRO Blackwell graphics cards, the first time we've seen an upgrade on mobile graphics since summer 2023. The main difference between the two is the ProMax 14 is limited to the Intel Ultra 7 265H CPUs rated at 28 watts, and the NVIDIA RTX PRO 500 Blackwell graphics, which while entry level receives a 50% increase up to the memory of 6GB. The ProMax 16 meanwhile supports Intel's Ultra 7 and 9 CPUs rated at 45 watts, along with the mid-range RTX Pro 2000 Blackwell graphics with 8GB of dedicated memory, as well as double the SSD storage up to 4TB. And ever popular with CAD engineers, a number pad on the keyboard for entering all of those dimensions and calculations. Also new for 2025, Dell will be offering AMD Ryzen AI Pro CPUs on these models, with the 14-inch model featuring onboard AMD graphics and the 16-inch model supporting up to the 8GB NVIDIA RTX Pro 1000 Blackwell generation graphics card. We'll report back on these once we've had a chance to test them out. The main other difference in the AMD systems is the memory will be soldered, rather than the replaceable or upgradable options in the Intel versions. With regards to ports, both systems feature as standard an audio port, 2 USB-As, 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, a 1GB Ethernet connection, a wedge lock slot, and HDMI, with the 16 also featuring a microSD card reader as standard. Both the 14 and 16 feature optional smart card readers, with the 16 also having space for an optional nano eSIM. And while we can't share performance numbers from these pre-production units used for filming, our first impressions are positive, with the mix of new components from Intel and NVIDIA and the re-engineered designs from Dell giving a nice blend of performance and usability. And while the increased quality and performance does mean that the weight of these laptops has increased slightly versus the previous generation, the ProMax 14 starting at 1.8 kilograms and the ProMax 16 at just over 2.1 kilograms, the trade-off seems worth it. The revised thermals and chassis designs give confidence that these laptops will cope well with engineered workloads and stand up to moving between locations for use wherever you need that performance.